Hello everyone. It is 11:57. I've decided that I want to spend the next 24 hours absolutely rotting away because I am like kind of in a book slump. I haven't finished a book, I feel like in low-key like a month. So we're gonna change that. Welcome to today's video. It's gonna be a 24-hour readathon. In 2 minutes, we're gonna start at 12 p.m. and then we're gonna finish at 12 p.m. tomorrow and see just how much reading I can actually get done. I am gonna be looking crusty, dusty, musty throughout the entire thing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Gosh, one more minute. So let's begin. 24 hours officially begins. Actually, the first thing that I need to do is fold that big pile of laundry. So I thought to do that, let's pick an audiobook. I really am not trying to like think and use my brain. So let's pick a book that is going to help me be head empty, just vibey. I think that it's going to be this book called The Grace Year. I think that it's a dystopia. And one thing about me is that I'm a dystopia truther to my very bones. It literally runs through my veins. It says it's a speculative thriller in the vein of Handmaid's Tale and The Power. 16-year-old Tierney James dreams of a better life. I'm gonna listen to at least a little bit of this while I fold my laundry. Why is it kind of scary?
Macmillan Audio presents The Grace Year.
Just me and my 1.75 speed against the world.
No one speaks of the Grace Year. It's forbidden. We're told we have the power to own grown men from their beds.
Basically in this society, young women are like seen as like evil and having like these powers, so they all have to spend 1 year when they turn 16 really in the middle of nowhere, like in the woods, just like fending for themselves to like release their magic. And that's called the Grace Year, and a lot of girls don't end up coming back, or they're like missing fingers and legs, and like no one talks about what happens, and it's like really freaky.
Pearson, he's not as bad as he seems. That's no life for me.
We've hit the first hour. I'm 12% of the way through the Grace Year. I feel like already the setup for like everything that's happening is like, it's really giving like Katniss Everdeen. And it's also giving like a little bit of The Giver. Like it's giving a little bit of everything. Because basically in this world, pretty much all the women are just like controlled by the men. Actually, like listening to like some of the things that were happening in the society, like it made me like sick. You know what I mean? Like especially the dynamics between like all the women. You know how they're like the best thing slash the worst thing that the patriarchy did is like pit women against other women? That's what it feels like with like the shaming. Before the Grace Year, like the boys who like want to claim one of the girls as their wife, they get veiled. But Tierney has been like, absolutely not. I'm not gonna become anyone's wife. Like scared away all the men who would be interested in her. And so she's like, I'm chill. And she had like a whole like Katniss Gale moment too with like one of her friends named Michael. I don't know. I think that he's in love with her. I don't really know like if there's gonna be like a love interest in this book, because the whole point of this is that she literally does not want a love interest at all. I kind of just want to figure out like, is there gonna be a romance in the Grace Year? Romance. Does the Grace Year have romance? Wait a second. Stop the violence. Wait, this is the tea. I got so scared. I was saying that I was spoiled about what the romance is, and now it's making me want to finish this book even though I normally wasn't going to. This book is like if The Handmaid's Tale and Amazon Prime's The Wilds had like a love child, it would be this book. Also, this book is really giving like star-crossed lovers more than enemies lovers. Like they're just like from two completely different worlds. Like how could they ever be together? Hour 2, and this book is actually so spicy. It's giving like Lord of the Flies, Amazon Prime The Wilds. Like I said, I got spoiled about who the love interest is gonna be, and I like think that they like had an encounter already. I did in fact search his name in the book to see how much longer of the book I need to read until he shows up, because I'm terrible. I'm at least going to hang on until we see him. It's like so... That's like so scandy. Hour 3, and it's finally what I've been waiting for this entire time. 52% of the book. The two of them have met. He should be like trying to kill her, and then for some reason he like chooses to save her, and she like doesn't know why. He's already saved her like 2 or 3 times. She doesn't know who he is, but she just knows that it's him, the same guy every single time. But it's really giving me like old dystopia YA vibes, like 5th wave vibes of like fending for yourself on your own, and then you just get saved by a random stranger and you don't know why, but of course like he's like the love of your life. I was literally just gonna listen to this book for like 15 minutes while I did my laundry, but now I have to finish it. I feel like it's worth it to say that if you're reading this book and you're like reading the romance and stuff, like it seems to move super quick, but I always forget that this book actually takes place over the course of a year, and so between all these moments, like probably days, weeks, maybe even months have passed. So it's like reality TV where like you can have like 200 hours of footage, but you can't air all of it. You can only air like 45. Hour 4, in the 1 hour that passed and like the 20% that passed, because now I'm at 70%. These two hoes already said that they're in love with each other. You know what? I'm not even that mad about it, because it was giving like this is the only night that we have together before we like never see each other again for the rest of our lives. But the problem is that now I'm bored. Okay, actually the plot with like the other girls, like the Lord of the Flies part of the book, it is interesting. It's just like so disturbing. It grosses me out to read it about like the things that are happening to these girls, and literally all of it feels like a fever dream. After reading this, I'm really realizing that maybe Star-Crossed Lovers is like a secret hyper-specific book trope that I have been sleeping on. I just realized the reason why I like this trope so much, it's this. It's because of Lincoln and Octavia from The 100. Okay, it's hour 5. I did not make a lot of progress. I'm at 81%. Majority of the last hour was me watching all of Linkatavia from The 100. 5 hours and 47 minutes in, we finished our first book. The romance was actually, I think it was like a big part of the book for like maybe like 3 or 4 chapters. Also, this is a standalone. It takes place over the course of like a full year. Like each part is like 1 season. I feel like time has to pass like pretty fast. Just like the way that it all ties up at the end. It's giving like America Ferrera's like speech at the end of Barbie. And like for it being a standalone, I feel like it did a really good job of like putting together like a coherent story with like a clear theme and like the way that it all tied up. I'm gonna see you in 1 hour. I'm gonna go to the gym. Oh my gosh, wait, actually, I was literally scrolling on Instagram Reels because I saved this reel. It made me want to read this book. It's a reel to Gracie Abrams' In Between, which is like my favorite song ever. So you know that I had to. For the book Betting on You by Lynn Painter, that makes me want to read that book so bad. So maybe that'll be a next read. I don't know, we'll see in like 3, 2, 1. Hour 7, I think I have decided that we're gonna start reading Betting on You by Lynn Painter. Better Than the Movies was one of my favorite romances. And I feel like one thing about Lynn Painter is that she writes her boy main characters so good. Look at how cute the cover is. Is it Friends to Lovers? I literally don't know anything. I just know that her name is Bailey. Like, she's a messy bun and wears glasses. And his name is Charlie, I think. And to the readers who create playlists, aesthetic boards, and full-on edits, everyone should be so lucky as to connect with stories in such an immersive way. Look at how cute these illustrations are. Hour 8, 9% of the way through Betting on You, and we just got to present day. The beginning of this is showing us how Bailey and Charlie first met. They first met 3 years ago on an airplane flight because both of their parents were going through divorces, so they're like flying solo. And then 1 year ago, they randomly had an encounter at like the movie theater. So they're like not really like friends. He is exactly the kind of boy that I would like low-key hate in high school. He's kind of mean to her. I actually think I've encountered way more mean adolescent boys in my life than any mean girl in my life. He just kind of makes fun of her like for no reason, like her hair and stuff. I'm like, wait. Now we're in present day. I feel like I saw on a TikTok somewhere that like she is like having a nervous breakdown and she ends up calling him randomly. I do love a slow burn, I have to say, and I love a meet cute. Okay, I know it's kind of like a Charlie hater at the beginning of this, but I do have to say that he goes through some character growth, or like in between the past and present timeline. You can definitely tell that there was like some maturing, so like he kind of got like a little bit better, but I still think that, you know, boys are just boys. Like, teenage boys are the apex predator, we are lowly rabbits. I don't know when I'm gonna sleep, by the way. I am definitely not pulling an all-nighter. I'm 24% of the way through, and this book is already messy as hell. Okay, I figured out what the plot of this book is. Charlie has always thought that girls and guys cannot just be friends, and Bailey has always thought yes. So they decided to do a little bet between themselves, which is why it's called Betting on You. Bet on it. They are betting that Theo and Nikisa, which is like the boy and then Bailey's friend, Charlie thinks that they're gonna get together within the month. Bailey doesn't think so because Nikisa has a boyfriend, but Charlie thinks that it doesn't matter. Like, if you're with someone and like proximity effect, it's gonna happen. Which, by the way, I think is not true at all. Like, maybe in your teenage boy mind, if you have no self-control. You can always count on Professor Lynn Painter to put in all these Taylor Swift references for all of us girlies. Also, I forgot to put it in here, but Bailey, the main character, she's also like a bookstagrammer, but then catastrophe was upon us because there was a fake dating ploy. It's the 10th hour. It's also 10 p.m. Look, I'm getting tired. I'm literally a grandma living in a 22-year-old body. I'm 58% of the way through Betting on You. When I saw that there was gonna be like a fake dating element, I was like, I hate that trope. You know what? It's actually not as bad as I thought that it was gonna be. But I think like seeing Charlie like open up a little. I mean, he's giving nothing girl. But then you see like little moments where like he just is showing his like weaknesses and like vulnerabilities, and like Bailey's the only one who knows about them. He's growing on me. Based on wafer thin ice, very much uses humor and sarcasm as a defense mechanism. So I feel like he comes off like abrasive and like kind of mean. But you know what? I really am trying to give Charlie the benefit of the doubt. Might be coming around to me, like he did cook them spaghetti. I think that he's just a boy who needs to like work through his emotions and work through his traumas and like open up a little bit. Before boys have like their first active listener friend, they're just insufferable. Hour 11, and I called it. She falls first, he falls way harder. Look at that. Music to my ears. I have less than an hour left of this book. So like 11 hours and 19 minutes in, we finished our second book of this challenge. I even put a soundtrack at the end of this. I think Charlie and Bailey are really cute together. I think that he's not for me, but I think they're cute together. I do think they're gonna break up. This is like a little known fact about me that even like all my friends are like so shocked about all the time, which is that I'm like super cynical for some reason when it comes to like romances and like relationships, like real life relationships. For some reason I'm like so cynical, even though I'm like the biggest hopeless romantic you'll ever meet in your life. But then like in real life I'm like, it'll never work. For these two I'm like, the story's cute and everything, but I'm like, I feel like they're gonna break up just because of like core incompatibility. I think I'm gonna start our next book either right now, but I probably won't vlog until tomorrow. But I really want to find a book that I'm like obsessed with. You know what I mean? Good fortune, Toby. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't know when I'm gonna wake up. Good morning, everyone. It's 9 a.m. In my defense, I did end up sleeping really late last night for literally no reason. Also, I had a dream where I was happily in like with two men. Anyway, it's hour 21. I have 3 hours left, which I feel like that means that we could get through like half of a book. I feel like maybe I'll start reading this book, The Hurricane Wars. It's supposed to be more of a romantasy, so there's definitely romance in it. I think it's enemies to lovers. That's like all I know about it. Hour 22, and all roads always lead back to here. Under the covers of my bed. I'm only on chapter 2 of The Hurricane War. We have our main character. Her name's Taliesin. I think she's like part of like the army or something for this kingdom. She secretly has magic, and then I think the love interest is Prince or something like that. We haven't met him yet. I hope it's the trope, I'm not a monster, like you made me into a monster, because he's a prince and I hate prince characters normally, and they're just like nice, a good person. I'm like, that is so boring. The only time that I like a prince character is when they like have been forced to like be brutal and like be a monster and like be a bad person growing up because their parents are really strict or whatever. That I eat up every single time. We're on the 23rd hour, but I'm 9% of the way through The Hurricane War. Our main character, she has that magic, and because she exposed her magic, that prince of like the enemy kingdom, they're basically like mortal enemies, and because of that now she has this big target on her back. So her military is like sending her into this other kingdom. She needs to like infiltrate it and try to get to like this specific place. So it's like a physical quest trope, which I love. Apparently when she gets to that place it'll like help her or something. So I don't know when those two are gonna meet. Oh my god, wait, what if it's like a physical quest trope? Forced proximity, enemies to lovers. Oh my god, that's like the holy trifecta. Okay, well we have like 45 minutes left. It's officially been 24 hours. I made it to 17%, and I'm kind of sad because it's like it was just getting good. First of all, I just want to say that the writing in this book is actually like some of the best fantasy writing that I've come across in a hot minute, where like genuinely I'm like captivated like by the world, and like just the way they're describing it, I'm like, oh, it's so vivid, like I'm literally there. Second of all, it's exactly the trope that I wanted. Forced proximity, forced allies because you get captured. And if you guys like dark-haired, mischievous, smile, snarky, sarcastic, but surely tortured boy main character. I will say though that it's kind of insta chemistry because they already like are having so much banter together even though they're like supposedly enemies. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. That's gonna be all for this video. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and follow me on my socials. They're all linked in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!